Hey, what's up you guys? It's Mike and welcome to my channel. This channel is for real estate entrepreneurs, independent landlords, and property management professionals, and we're all about helping you increase your income, grow your portfolio, and reducing stress. So if this sounds like you, then stick around. This is a quick video. I'm going to go over the 5 biggest mistakes of first-time landlords. Number 1, not knowing the landlord-tenant code. So the landlord-tenant code is basically a set of rules that each tenant and landlord has to abide by in order to operate properly. Each state has their own landlord-tenant code, and if you're a landlord, then it's important that you know exactly what this thing says, and you basically consult that before you do anything. And if you're hiring a property management company, make sure that they're following that landlord-tenant code too. So the landlord-tenant code is going to have things in there like how late a person has to be before you can start charging a fee, the maximum amount that you can charge for a security deposit, different policies for entering the home in an emergency or non-emergency, different procedures for evictions. So in order to find the landlord-tenant code for your state, you can look it up online, or if you're in the US, you can search American Apartment Owners Association.org. And as a reference, it cites your state-specific website where the code is listed. I think this website is super helpful, especially for new property managers, because if you don't follow the landlord-tenant code and you make a violation, that could result in tons of legal fees. Second common issue is the failure to properly screen your tenants. I do have some friends and coworkers that rented their property to somebody without doing any of those background checks, and almost every time it ended up poorly. If you do a background check, that increases your odds of finding red flags in their history that could become a problem for you later on. Third big thing is using generic rental agreements. Don't use a generic rental agreement you find on the internet. If you work with a property manager or a licensed realtor, the lease agreement that they hook you up with is going to be reviewed by a team of lawyers and attorneys where that's their job, is to sit there and review contracts and look for holes. So the fifth thing is over-leveraging the property. If you're not cash flowing on a property, then you shouldn't be buying a second one or a 50th one. It's important to make sure that your finances are in order, that you're actually making money on your property before you reinvest into another property. Yes, maybe you're only losing $300, $400, $500 a month in your rental, but if something crazy happens, you get hit with a nasty assessment if you're in a condo, or you get a crazy repair like the house gets flooded, and that's going to really hurt you financially if you're over leveraged. So make sure that you're not investing in more property until you're actually making money with your property. And finally, the last mistake that I noticed with first-time property managers and landlords is that they own the property and they tell the tenant that they own the property. So this goes 2 ways. This goes both towards the tenant and towards your finances. If you're the owner of the property and you tell a tenant something that they don't like, all that blame's on you, and it's up to you to stand there and just take all the grunt that you're going to get from their disagreement. It helps you be a lot more non-confrontational if you're not the person laying down the law. These are the rules of the owner, or this is what the owner is looking for. So that gives you one reason to hire a property management company, but say that you're actually managing yourself. If you put your property into an LLC, which you really should be doing for liability purposes, that way, especially when you get to more properties, if something happens at that property and they come after you, if you're effectively not the owner and you have it in a trust, they come after the trust, and then the trust only has however many properties that you want in that trust, and then that's the extent of the damages to you. Let's say that the property's in the trust. If the tenant really wants their big dog to be in there, you could say, well, the owner doesn't allow big dogs. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Got a new video coming out on Sunday, and if you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll be the first person to know about it. Other than that, thanks and have a great day.